It's about that time for the match of the round. The Big Cats Cup returns to SFV. Pascoe Vale locking horns with the Fitzroy Tigers, who have not missed a foot in the first 3 weeks of the season. Pascoe Vale, on the other hand, have resorted to desperate measures early, considering that early blip against Thornbury. They simply need something from tonight's game if they have any, let's say, ambition of lofting not just the Big Cats Cup, but the SFV men's title in Season 2 of 2025. Adam Plomby and Ethan Rigg on the call for quite the gargantuan clash we're about to witness on the futsal court here at the Darabin Community Sports Stadium. The opening monologue from Ethan Rigg.
Undoubtedly, the game week's premier contest. The eyes of many looked on this game with eagerness and anticipation when the fixtures were released. Even more so after opening eve. So, after the shock, after the extra week to await reply, it is Pascoe Vale Season 2025 2, Take 2. The opening act didn't go to plan, and now the Lions are back in the jungle with it all potentially already on the line. This side, accumulated over the past 2 seasons, took the steps last campaign to suggest they could roar loudest. Tonight they must do so in order to avoid 3 weeks without a win and back-to-back defeats against their fiercest rivals. For Fitzroy, they arrive into the first proper flashpoint of the season so far. 2 wins from 2 and top of the table. A record and position they can extend with a further 3 points. The full arsenal has already been readily available for Jimmy Soufas this season so far. Corey Sewell has starred, while Elias Parthamos' homecoming has started superbly. They all will be required if Fitzroy are to not only strengthen their own royal ranking, but also to deepen the sorrow and frustration of a fellow contender for the crown. Another chapter is about to be written in the book of Big Cats, with the league's 2 most successful clubs once again more integral to its tale.
And it is live. The Big Cats Cup match of the round, up and away. We have a look at the lineups currently on court for the Mighty Lions. Mazen Abdallah is the man in between the sticks. Kevin Lem, Andre Caro, Felipe Evangelista are all under the guidance of their captain, Michael Newen. As for Fitzroy, Aaron News, the man in between the 2 posts. Sako Aljaran, Cozy Russo, Scott Rogan and Javari Nepomuceno all on court. Ethan Rigg, when we get a chance, we'll have a glimpse at who's on the bench for both sides as Kevin Lamb early tests the frame of goal.
Pascoe Vale wanting to make a fast start in this game, and you can see it already the way that they're going about keeping the ball. They want Fitzroy on the back foot. But as you mentioned, on those benches, the Lions in particular have got 2 big names. Matthias Assumpção returns, as well as Luis Lobo, who's added to the squad for the new season. Brings in a lot of international pedigree, as he is a futsal roux.
Some big names on the Pascoe Vale bench just re-emerging. Matthias Assumpção no longer has the outdoor obligations. You'll see him on a court here and there a lot more frequently, as Kevin Lamb found half a yard and tested Aaron Yu. It's a bright start for the Lions.
Top save from Aaron Yu. He's forced into the scramble across. Kevin Lamb does well just to give himself a split second to have that shot, and it's pushed over well.
Caro, short for Evangelista, looking for Kevin Lamb on the incisive pass. And while not to fault that of Fitzroy, their bench looking well and truly stacked, Ethan Rigg.
It certainly is. Corey Sewell, Elias Parthamos and Pepe Filio. Just 3 of the names that line the bench this evening. All expect to make an impact.
Newen, the shortest option, receives it, gets a corner for Pascoe Vale. A nice, let's say, quiet in the arena right now. It's just the eye before the storm. Pascoe Vale know the severity of the situation they're in. Andre Caro. Look to test Aaron Newen. His shot's just miscued wide and out of play. Jason Ishak going for a stroll towards that of the scoreboard to have a glimpse. You're going to see him pop up here and there for Fitzroy as the night progresses. Scott Rogan, Nepomuceno against one of his former employers. Rogan shifting gears, trying to go right down the middle of the court. Lamb back to Mazen Abdallah. Chip ball for Kevin Lamb, bounces off his head and away he goes right at the centre of the court. While Jaron lunging was Lamb. Nepomuceno hits the frame of the goal. Well, the Madcap might have lost one of his 9 lives, Ethan, but a peripheral moment for Fitzroy.
Fantastic work from Chavaro Nepomuceno. The first look he's had, the first space he's had to go into. Could so easily have shifted it onto his left, but used the body feint well to then explode right, and was ever so unlucky not to find the near post.
Newen. Andre Caro trying to conduct. Kevin Lamb's had a bright start. Flicking for Caro. Overzealous, the ball goes out of play, and Jimmy Sufis had the last touch from his technical area. Rogan. Old Jaron, Evangelista quickly on his case. The former Western players come together. And for some, well, global football news right now, Western United no longer an A-League club. They've lost their licence. And any shadow of a doubt to see them re-emerge on the court has well and truly dissipated with that statement. As Rogan lofted long, and Madcap will have it roll towards him. He won't pick it up, Mazen Abdallah. He'll go long. It's a great ball for Newen. Hits him square in the chest. Cosy also had the read of his former teammate. The sniper going down the court. Old Jaron in support. Ball in dispute in the corridor. And well, Scott Rogan will sit it down and have it back for Aaron New, who's gone long for Nepomuceno. Flicking header. Cosy also never gave up. Abdallah flirted with the full use of his box as the ball just exchanges possession between both sides.
Excellent work from Scott Rogan to keep his cool when Nepomuceno and Newen were entangled. And that from Mazen Abdallah was risky. It just sat up for him at the wrong moment, but he did well not to step outside.
It's almost like one of the ball slayers, the Raging Bull, considering, well, a former teammate of Mazen Abdallah's, but the Mad Cat there was almost doing one of those, Ethan. Like he's trying to deceive the ball. That being the ball. Scott Rogan goes on a real journey. Lamb was there to clear. The Lions just backtracking for the minute. The Tigers looking to pounce. Big Cats Cup on the line. Old Jaron lost out. Now Evangelista has Aranu scrambling. Sliding doors moment for the Lions, which they couldn't take, Ethan.
He had two options as well, Evangelista. Had Andre Caro and Michael Newen arriving. He just blazed away, and that will be the tale of the night. Which team can capitalise on moments, especially like that, when they have a clean look.
Michael Newen, a point to prove tonight against one of his former employers. Lots of titles won with the Tigers. Well, a bit overzealous in his attempt to get the ball off his former teammate and captain Scott Rogan, who earns the foul. Aaron Hughes stepping up, trying to just have that player drawn out for the Tigers. Nepomuceno. Rogan first time pass was quick towards, while Jaron Evangelista hot on his tail.
Fitzroy now just starting to quicken the tempo up. The second they step into Pascoe Vale's half, that one from Rogan wasn't able to sneak through, but you can see the plan already is to work it to Nepomuceno and make sure that they can just cause a yard of chaos to act in.
Russo on the opposite flank. Rogan. Either side yet to utilise a change. Rogan, it was central for Wild Jaron Evangelista. 3 against 3 in this counter charge for the Lions. Russo's done well with Evangelista, who sits him down. And the Paco number 14 earns a free kick.
Excellent work from Felipe Evangelista. His positioning was wonderful to read that ball. He then almost went with the wrong option to try and slide it into Andre Caro. It broke fortuitously back for him, and having spun away from Russo, then drew the foul well.
Well, it's not seen for those watching on YouTube, but right to our left, Ethan. Make that our right, rather. Mati Susumsau is bouncing up and down. He wants to get stuck into this. He's keen to re-emerge on the court, but meanwhile, Caro. Evangelista across the face for Newen. Ball goes out of play. As on comes Pep Filio. Quite the return to futsal he's made this season so far. For Fitzroy, scored a beautiful goal last week against the Black Army. Will get his first match minutes now. Evangelista. Kevin Lamb. Both sides really just not giving either of each other a real glimpse at the moment. Newen flicking Evangelista. It's a lovely touch momentarily around Corey Swool, who sees it out for an early Pascoe Val corner.
Terrific work from Felipe Evangelista. He took that down tidily. That was not an easy ball to control. It had pace from Newen, And as a result, Fitzroy, when they could have gone the other way, now have to defend a corner.
Cardo, Evangelista, Lamb moving. The back heel's there for Newen. Rogan read it best. Russo on the charge. Pep Filio the shorter option. Corey Swall. Filio. Swall moving off the ball. Rogan, Filio. The move was there for Corey Swall, who was pivoting around the box, and on comes Matthias Assumpção. His last appearance, dare I say, was against Hume in round 3 of the opening season. He re-emerges on the Darebin Community Sports Stadium court, Ethan.
It's good to have him back from a Pascoe Vale perspective as well. They certainly would have been longing for the time they could get him back out on court. He's a player who provides so much explosiveness to this side and a real X factor, which is what they need.
Oh, and he was not on the same wavelength as Michael Newen there. Not the best first touch for Matthias Assumpção. Must be said, Ethan has a storied history with Fitzroy. And the two sides met in Clubs Cup for the first time in years last year. That rivalry since has just simmered off the court. No love lost between both Pascoe Vale or Fitzroy, but especially between Assumpção and the Tigers, who with Scott Rogan have an early corner. Their first of the occasion. Rogan, Parthamos on court now. They'll try again. Rogan's corner. Parthamos unmarked on the edge of the area. Nearly onto his left. Newen's done really well to retrieve the ball there with Corey Swall, who's gone down the middle. Rogan lost it, as Chavinan makes an appearance tonight.
Excellent work from Michael Newen, just to read that Parthamos wanted to shift it onto that left foot just as he was about to pull the trigger, as Luis Lobo gets himself ready to come on for his first minutes in series futsal.
Parthamos had to just header it away to safety at the expense of a corner. Newen will take Cardo on the edge of the area. Assumpção. Onto his right, shifted it for Newen. Parthamos sees it out of play. Seb Wickett and Josh Allen ready to enter the mix also for the Tigers. Cardo. Newen, Farhan. Shifting inside. Cardo, back turn towards goal. Threads it back, Farhan. Assumpção. Shifting inside of Rogan. Arn once more. Reverse pass for Newen. Pep Filio brought to ground. It'll be a free kick for the Tigers.
Michael Newen certainly protested his innocence about that. Maurizio Novak not best pleased about that decision. Felt as though Pep Filio ran into Michael Newen rather than Newen bundled into him.
Maurizio Novak always got quite the composed temper, but wasn't too fond of that call from the official. Nonetheless, Pascoe Vale have possession back. Lobo with some movement. Assumpção wants those around him to do something. Matthias shifting inside of Corey Swall. Assumpção got his shot away. That's the explosivity in which the Lions have craved, Ethan.
They've certainly missed it, especially on opening night. That explosiveness of Assumpção, just to shift it away from Corey Swall, then does well to keep his feet as Swall tried to body him, got the shot away and forced Aaron Yu into an uncomfy save.
Arn trying to go direct. Rogan blocks. Some cow early, just trying to get rid of the court rust. Skipping around Swall once more. Reverse for Newen. The 1-2 wasn't exchanged. Corey Swall does a lovely turn away from Assumpção. Stepping beyond Lobo. It's Corey Swall testing that of Abdallah. Parthamos keeps it alive. And tried to roll it for Allen, but a brilliant bit of individual play from Corey Swall.
Sensational from Swall, and that's also what Fitzroy would have missed last season, just the way that he picks the ball up, and it's a really driving run, and he hits it with pace. Abdallah did very well.
His distribution has been expert so far from the Mad Cat. Lobo. On back towards the debutant. Asumkau. Gets around Rogan. He actually pushed Rogan in towards a more attacking area. Nice to see them getting reacquainted on court. Parthamos. Shifting inside. Asumkau closes the gates. And well, Alison Lima will come on for Mattis Asumkau, who had a decent passage of futsal there, Ethan.
He certainly did. The energy from Asumkau closed the door for Parthamos, and it is what won Pascoe Vale that free kick. You get the feeling, though, that Maurizio Novak will use him in shorter bursts tonight, with it being his first game with the squad for the season. Well, he did mention to us prior to the game as well, he'd suffered some injuries throughout the year as it's gone on, so they might just be managing him.
Luis Lobo trying to get creative. Allen gets the ball. Swall awaits the cavalry. Thought about wicket. Wants to take the game on. Corey Swall. Lobo took charge. Isolated. Luis Lobo wasn't happy with the treatment he received from Corey Swall. That's a battle to keep a firm eye on, Ethan.
Certainly is. The two big men going at it. Swall on this occasion wins out. He does enough to slow Lobo up without fouling him. That's the key for Fitzroy.
Too quick, too slick, and not giving us a chance to flush things out of Fitzroy, but it was a sweeping move from Corey Swall, who's really feeling it tonight.
Certainly is. He's a man on a mission. You get the feeling, Corey Swall. He started this game strongly. Everything that Fitzroy are doing right now flows through him.
On. Hasn't really missed a beat since coming on. Commentators curse for a moment. Lobo. Newen back towards Luis Lobo. Goes over the top towards Newen. He acknowledges the idea of the captain, but just a bit too much loft on the pass.
Too much lob from Lobo on that occasion.
Couldn't help yourself, could you?
Was right there. So Michael Newen, that's where they will get some joy, though. The second they can cause that switch and get Newen in down that right flank, you'll start to see Pascoe Vale open up some more opportunities.
Josh Allen. Parthamos. Wicket. Central for Allen. Nice control. Loses possession. Lobo. Onto your left and right. Had the ball caught behind him. Wicket to recycle through Allen. Swall. Seb Wicket. Not around Lobo. Lima came out and now Josh Allen tried to square it for Corey Swall. Newen at the other end. Still going, Michael Newen. Does really well to earn a corner. How did he keep that ball in?
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Michael Newen. Turn of pace, burns Parthamos down the line. And then Aaron Yu, to his credit, gets his angles right. Newen maybe could have gone with a bit of height and it would have been more troublesome, but he did excellently to win a corner.
Arn's take. Newen lets it roll for the Mad Cat. He's no stranger to scoring goals. Lobo. Newen, first time for Arn. Maurizio Novak calling for patience. Lima the lateral option, utilised by Newen. Lobo. Shifting inside. And will earn a deep side ball. We've played halfway through this opening half. Scores level between the Tigers and the Lions for the Big Cats Cup. Fizzed in with pace towards the near post. Newen got low. Allen. Parthamos. Corey Swall. Shoots on his left. The frame of the goal ricochets again.
Wonderfully done from Corey Swall once more and from Fitzroy on the break. Parthamos just keeps it simple but plays it with pace. So while Pascoe Vale are retreating, Swall's already able to shift himself into a shooting position. And Mazen Abdallah got his angles right and just watched that crash into the post and out for his ball.
Not much the Mad Cat could have done there as Lamb's lost possession. Allen had the strength. Also had Rogan on for the pass. Corey Swall fired low. Kevin Lamb got in the way. as Russo will replace Swall. Cardo also entering the mix. He gives Arne a spell. Decent goalkeeping from Ethan Rigg to parry the ball back towards Josh Allen.
Out of danger as well. Picked a teammate.
Allen will try again from the same position. Rogan had it lofted out and completely away from his teammates.
Neither of these teams have really been able to create any clean-cut opportunities at one another. You've seen Fitzroy try and walk it in on a couple of occasions, but Pascoe Vale have always had the bodies back. The only real look either have had is still that early chance for Felipe Evangelista.
Well, the post has been struck 3 times now. 2 for Fitzroy, once for Pascoe Vale. Importance on the opening goal. Evangelista tried the 1-2 with Cardo. Fitzroy just starting to have the ascendancy. Well, on paper, it's their greatest test so far this season. Rogan will receive it in behind. It was a smashing ball from Cosimo Russo to pick out his longtime friend and teammate in behind. It was a great pass from the sniper.
Cracking ball from Russo in behind, a glorious little clip. And Rogan took it down brilliantly. Evangelista in retreat, got a foot to it, and he did well.
Rogan's corner. Had to go quickly, he lost the clock and went out of play. Evangelista stepping over, trying to cause Wicket some concern. Cardo. Lamb gets it across the face of goal. Alison Lima was lurking.
It's Pascoe Vale's first real look for a few minutes they've been able to create. Fitzroy have dominated the middle part of this first half in particular, and it's just behind Alison Lima before he can get a connection to it. That's where they need the late runner.
Rogan not blinking with Lima. He gets around him momentarily as Alison Lima just keeps that individual battle equal for now. Rogan. Cosy Russo back towards Rogan. Got a metre or two of space against Lima, but Lamb came across. It's been a real patient affair, this game.
It's been about which team defensively has been more well structured than the other. You can see teams going in twos whenever they go to close a channel as well. That's been the big thing, being able to get the numbers around the immediate play, and it shuts out the space to work into.
Lima. Andre Caro. Lamb. Bit of a heavy first touch. Ball family dispute just in the inside of the quarters. Evangelista with a big slide and the celebration to boast as well.
Passion, pure passion from Felipe Evangelista. Having lost out one early, he really liked that one.
Lamb rolls it for Evangelista. He's going to go right down the centre of the court. Went towards the back post. Lamb never arrived, and you was happy to see it just roll out of play. Rogan. Wicket. Back towards Scott Rogan. Pascoe Vale, for the meantime, been defensively sound. Rogan got instinctive. Evangelista closed the gates nicely. Lima has an opportunity. Pumped away. And Evangelista on the follow-up has it gone over the crossbar.
That's 2 big chances now for Felipe Evangelista. That one, he was off balance. It was on his wrong side. But unfortunately, Adam, he should score.
He'll try again as he thought about going A1 direct. A gleaming opportunity for the Lions. They couldn't take it. And that perhaps will be a talking point come half-time. Asumkar reinstated. Evangelista got his shot away, comfortable height for you. Goes quickly for the sniper. Evangelista heads it out of play. Rogan and Lamb. Scott Rogan happy to have the ball roll out of play as you speak of exciting players. Look who's just entered the court.
Nepomuceno back on for Fitzroy. They sense now that this game needs some spark, it needs some explosiveness. Pascoe returned to suit by putting Assumpção back on. So both teams going to try and break the deadlock before half-time, and they want some explosiveness just to inject some life into it.
It's explosivity, and there's buying a whole pack of fireworks. That's Javara Nepomuceno, who's in possession now. Fitzroy just getting a bit too conducive at their play. Pascoe Vale with their captain back on court, Michael Newen. Assumpção staring down Nepomuceno. Cardo tried to flick around out of Cosi Russo. Abdallah goes very long. Aaron Hughes sees it out of play. And they've taken it quickly. Rogan, great read from Lobo. Assumpção, broadcast side. Cardo, flicking for Matis Assumpção. Trying to get around Rogan. It's simmering. It's certainly simmering between these two. Although a friendly gesture to help up Scott Rogan, you feel like that's going to really just start to get spicier and spicier by the minute.
And he didn't need to do it. Assumpção Rogan was happy to concede the corner. It's a rash lunge that gives away a good bit of pressure and a good position for Pascoe Vale.
Assumpção jostling off possession. Lobo trying to have the measure of Nepomuceno. Well, Jaron. The call is to keep the ball moving from the bench. Move too quickly and out of play. Nearly 3/4 of the way through. Still yet to score are both sides. Real chess match it's turning out to be on court right now. Assumpção flicking for Cardo. It's very rare someone tells the doctor what to do. Lobo wasn't sure where to go. Fitzroy forced the turnover.
Excellent pressure, led by Nepomuceno on that occasion. They just didn't let Pascoe Vale breathe, and the second they saw it work to Lobo, it's clear that he might be the press trigger for this Fitzroy side. He's come into the Pascoe Vale team tonight. It's his debut. He doesn't know the setup as well. Same with Matthias Assumpção, but you get the feeling that they're going to be going harder on Lobo than they would Assumpção.
Oh, goes back for Fitzroy following the side ball. Stepping too close were the Lions. Assumpção was waiting. It was Nepomuceno with the pass. Now Matthias in possession, got in the way of Cardo. Lobo, lovely flick down the broadcast wing. Couldn't get around Rogan. Falters back to you. Nepomuceno the target. Abdallah claims and throws quickly. Both sides just had it a couple of times tonight with their exchange possession. That was one of those cases just there. Rogan not in behind of Lobo. And it will be Pascoe Vale's ball.
Both of these sides have looked to switch gears almost simultaneously at times this evening, Adam. That's why you've seen changes in possession either really quickly or one team sustain it for a while. They both go up and down the gears at the same time, and they're very good at matching one another.
Assumpção shifting direction upon that of Jaron. Now has to get around Nepomuceno. The shot stings the palms of Aaron Yu. Assumpção on the follow-up. Great block by Rogan. He's feeling it out and out of Brazilian.
Brilliant from Matthias Assumpção. 2 looks, and the way that he just shifted away from Jaron was superb.
Rogan, lovely read that time around. Tried to really go in a confined space, did flash, and has it just falter out of play. Methodical build-up again for the Lions. Newen. Luis Lobo. Andre Caro. Lunged in was Nepomuceno. Assumpção across the face. Newen lunged in, the captain courageous. Well, there was lacklustre defending from Nepomuceno, which allowed for the chance to open up for the Lions.
Excellent futsal from Pascoe Vale. Good bravery from Caro. All it needed was the finish from Michael Newen sliding in, and it would have been a wonderful goal to open up this game. However, they're starting to knock on the door, having withstood the storm.
Even contest so far. It's about who blinks first. As Sumkau in towards Swool's foot. Newen, Louise Lobo. The idea of the give-and-go futsal was there, but not the execution.
It's tidy in its idea. The execution of Sumsal, perhaps not on the same wavelength as what Michael Newen would have wanted just then, and the attack petered out because of it.
Pep Filio hasn't had an awful lot of involvement yet in this one. We'll see how he goes as the game matures. Nepomuceno, blocked by Sumkau. And dare I say that I'm not sure if I've had a 0-0 scoreline heading into half-time yet this season.
We haven't so far. It's been a real goal fest to kickstart season 2 of 2025. They've been absolutely flying in. This is the first game we've had this season that has been a proper low-scoring arm wrestle.
Lobo tried to get out. Swool wouldn't let him do so.
The other interesting thing, no timeouts yet. We see Fitzroy are starting to perhaps prep one, but Pascoe Vale look a bit unmoved on that front.
Sumkau, created by Pep Filio. Lovely ball for Caro. Side netting, the Doctor. And you can see different players, Ethan, from Fitzroy go directly towards Sumkau. No one yet in particular having his measure.
Not so far. You saw Corey Saul was the initial one to do it, then Scott Rogan. Neither have been able to slow Assumpsal's influence. It looks like Pep Filio is now the current matchup.
Done well to go lateral for Corey Saul. Filio, smashing ball for Rogan. Parthamos is in here! And that's what the cannon does! Calculated from Elias Parthamos, following the finish. And it's Fitzroy who hit the front.
Fabulous finish from Parthamos. It's great decision making from Rogan just to wait on it to open up for him. The ball is brilliant and he does well. Sees that Abdullah has already shifted his momentum back across goal and drills it from the corner whence he came.
And Pep Filio was at the heart of that move, wasn't he? To link up with Rogan. It was the lateral passes which opened up the move, and once Parthamos lurked towards the back post, he almost knew what the outcome was going to be. It's Fitzroy with a 1-goal lead for the first instalment of this season's Big Cats Cup. That got some attention. It's Pep Filio really enjoying his futsal again. Fantastic distributor of the ball. And how that's hurt Pascoe Vale on the cusp of half-time. Rogan. Lobo closing out the show. Aranu going very lateral with the diag. It was Swool, and now Lamb skidding inside. Asked Caro to latch on. He couldn't do so, the Doctor. Ball runs out of play, but that being said, Ethan, there's never a good time to concede on the cusp of half-time. Quite potentially the worst.
Especially when they have been in control of the few minutes prior as well. To give Fitzroy a goal on the break, a terrifically worked goal as well, has really hurt, and it's given the Tigers an extra gear.
Ooh, Lobo a bit late on Pep Filio, who's feeling that. Oh, and the official on the other side's called it. Wasn't called by the broadcast official, but the official on the opposite side made the call. And that sent the Fitzroy bench to a bit of a frenzy. And while you can't blame them, considering look who's behind the ball. If there's panic signs, well, they're flashing red right now. As the firework at Nepomuceno is shaping up for goal here.
This is the last person, if you're Pascoe Vale, that you want behind this ball. For Fitzroy, this is a huge chance to go 2 up and to rub some salt in their rivals' wounds.
Nepomuceno! It looked all right, you know. From this angle, looked fantastic. Abdallah saw it all the way. last minute of this first half. The Tigers with a 1-goal lead. Pascoe Vale had a golden opportunity which wasn't taken by Evangelista. Pep Filio, bit deep for Corey Swoop. What a talking point that's going to be at halftime, Ethan. But there, Statman joins us for the halftime show. Arn, nearly inside, towards the centre circle. Filio. Oh, nearly from Parthamos. It would have been champagne futsal. Kevin Lamb at the other end. 3 against 3 now. Lamb shifting inside. Ball ricochets to Parthamos. Filio can find space. Rogan. Happy to go long. 15 seconds left. Is there one late twist in the first half tail? Lamb got ambitious. And Jimmy Soufis has issued a timeout right on the cusp of halftime. There'll be mere seconds upon the resumption of play as we cross to a very late timeout break. Well, we return. And there's mere seconds left in this first half. What's the play from the Tigers? I want to roll the dice quickly. Rogan. Lamb has Morgan on for the pass. Rogan closed the gates. With mere seconds left, it won't come to much for Pascoe Vale, but yet again, Ethan, another sliding doors moment to discuss at half time.
Golden opportunity for them.
And Rogan nearly caught the Mad Cat off his line. He wasn't far away at all with Scott Rogan. And how that would have changed the complexion of the match. Pascoe Vale head towards the half-time break. Only 1 goal down, and how quick it could have been out of a 2-goal lead for the Tigers. As Ethan, we're going to catch a breath and cross to a short break before the match of the round half-time show.